morning. Good morning. We appreciate the pastor of this great church for opening up the doors of the church. He could have opened up the doors and gone back to his office or gone home, but he is here to be with us, and we appreciate him for that. It is entirely appropriate that we be in this place, because it has always been a place where people could come together and stand up for freedom, justice, and equality. Back in the 1930s, people met in this church. Communists and preachers met in this church in the 1930s, standing up for the unemployed. And so it's a legacy we understand and we appreciate, that this is sacred ground. And we're glad to be here. It seems to me that the next 28 days in September, late August and September, the next 28 days can be transformative here in Atlanta. Right. Beginning with this meeting, there are 28 days until the 22nd of September. I'm looking at the calendar of events. And I think the centerpiece is what we do on September 10th. The centerpiece, because the whole world will be watching for that week from September 10th to September 14th. The whole world will be watching. People are going to be watching what we do here in Atlanta. People are going to be watching what's done in Chicago, in New York, and where else, Tony? Los Angeles. And Los Angeles. People are going to be watching. They're going to be watching to see if we're just selling wolf tickets or whether we're serious. People are going to be watching to see if this is just a flash in the pan comment or whether this is a movement. People are going to be watching for the next 28 days and see if we can put up or shut up. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to put up. Because we would not be in this place that we are in history if not for Freddie Mac and Fannie Mac. They are the engine. They are the machinery which has put us in this place. I remember, Pastor, about 15 years ago when we were at the state capitol fighting predatory lending and foreclosures. And we was winning. We was beating them. And Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, I forget which one, they both crooks, sent a letter to Roy Barnes. This hasn't been told. Sent a letter to Roy Barnes saying, we need an exemption from your law. We need an exemption. We don't want you. They would just get in the predatory lending business, buying mortgages. And they sent a letter to Roy Barnes, and one of his, much to their credit, one of his, and I've never told this, one of his people working in his office said, Senator Ford, Fannie Mae sent a letter, want an exemption. You might want to do something about that. We went down there, raised heaven. Yeah. Hell is in the Bible. Yeah. We raised heaven, they just thought it was hell. And we got them to back off past it. They went running because we exposed them for what they were. Yeah. Because we knew then and we know now that this could not happen. If they had not started buying these predatory subprime loans, we would not be in this situation now. When they started buying and owning 50% of the loans in America, when they started buying these predatory loans from Bank of America and Chase and all these other crooks, when they started doing that, it was the gasoline for the fire. Because that meant the banks could offload the mortgages, and then they had capital to do what? Buy more mortgages. All right? And they told us they ain't got nothing to do with it. All they do is buy. Well, my idea is this. I told them this. I said, If you steal from me, if you steal my car and you give it to Tim, you a thief too, and Tim's a thief. So don't tell me you ain't got nothing to do with it. You a thief. As a matter of fact, you worse. You the worst thief. Because at least the thief that takes your car straight up, right? At least you know what he's doing. They don't steal with a pen and a piece of paper. So this is where we are now. We've got to face up to whether or not we're going to get out there and organize. We've got to show good at that Buckhead MARTA station. We got to show good. I'm going to be there.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be there.
You know, say what?
I'm going to be there.
You going to be there? Who else going to be there? Who else is going to be there?
Hell yeah.
It's time to shut up and put up. You know, we have got to start calling folks out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of folks throwing a rock and hiding their hand. You know I'm not a patient person. Did y'all know that?
All right.
And I hope you're not patient people. But I gave the governor and his folk a break with that Home Safe program. When I first heard that only 10% of the people in the program got approved, I was mad, but I said, no, peace be still. Let me be a little bit patient. And I gave them a chance. Met with the commissioner. I even met with the governor, if you could believe that. He didn't look like you gonna post this on YouTube? In any event, I won't go all into it.
Too.
My family up north, they said, Vince, we saw you on YouTube. After a while, I said, oh, my mother went down. So I got to be, you know, my mother called me and told me to be nice. So I'm going to be nice this morning. But I'm not a patient person. You ought not to be either. In any event, when I saw the first figures for the first quarter of the year, that was only 10% approval, you know, I said, let me meet with the governor. Let me meet with the commissioner. Let me try to work something out, attorney. You know what I'm saying? And so, and we had a meeting on May 5th. Some of y'all were there. How many of y'all were at my meeting on May 5th? All right. And we worked with them. We sent folk over to sit with them, look through the regs that the man talked about, bankruptcy and tax liens and how many months we worked with them. We told them we were available to go on radio and get people, and we knew, or at least we hoped, that it would get better, that a 10% approval rate would go up. I just found out this week that the approval rate went from 10% to 14%. I'm not patient anymore.
Come on.
I'm about to get mad.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
$339 million of your money, and they can't find a way to give it to the people who need it. $339 million. And then they got another $108 million that it's just thug action. $108 million that was supposed to go to stop foreclosures. And they sent it down to a slush fund in South Georgia. $108 million. That's, by my calculation, that's 400 and what? $47 million. Almost what? $500 million they fooling around with. And you're trying to tell me it ain't time to put up? It's time to put up or shut up on September 10th.
Come on.
We've got to send a message. We've got to send a message to Fannie Mae. We got to send a message to Freddie Mac. And we got to send a message to Nathan Deal. We got to bring it on home. Because there are people out there suffering. I don't know about you, but when I hear someone talk about how they're losing their home, step into a microphone and telling you about losing their homes, I'm outraged at it. So we've got some work to do over these next 28 days. When you have that meeting on what? September 22nd, we ought to be able to come back and say that things have changed out here. We've got to put pressure on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac because it's always important to do the right thing at the right time. As I close, I want to say it's always important to do the right thing at the right time, Pastor. When I read an article this week saying that the Obama administration is failed to do the right thing at the right time. When I read that the Obama administration held back and wanted the market to correct the housing crisis 4 years ago. When I read that, it's a perfect example of what? Not doing the right thing at the right time. How many homes could have been saved in the last 4 years? Millions of homes. How many families could have been kept together? Millions of families. How many children would not have to go through the trauma of seeing their stuff put out on the street? But when you see Tony Geithner in the room, appointing him Secretary of the Treasury, when he was up in New York at the New York Fed, which is ground zero for Wall Street thievery. When I saw that they appointed Tony Geithner, I'm just being real here.
Come on.
I'm a Democrat. But we know there's only two parties in this country, Milt. The party of the rich and the party of the poor. I'm a Democrat. I'm proud to be a Democrat. Oldest political party in the history of the world. Did you know that? But at the same time, I'm going to tell the truth.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That there's a party of the people and there's a party of the rich. And we, at this point in time, have to decide which side we're on. I know which side I'm on. And I know what I'm willing to do for the people who need help. So that's as much as I want to say. I've probably said more than I needed to.
Thank you.
But I'm going to be, now listen, I've got me a meeting on September 8th at St. Peter's Missionary Baptist Church on Venetian Drive. You have a flyer. So although if you know somebody, we're going to still challenge the governor and the Home Safe program to do the right thing. Because what? Just like it say in the program, that's our money. What's ours? We want what's ours. So we still going to challenge the governor. And we may even invite some of his staff out to the meeting, whether they come or not. But we need you there September 8th at 10 a.m. It might be a rally against the government or against the banks and what they're doing. But we hope to facilitate people getting real help September 8th as one part of the process, because we're going to drill down into what's happening with that money. How's that sound? All right. But the time has come, as I said, the time has come to put up or shut up. You know, we've got to organize. We've got to make sure we have to take responsibility for getting 10 people, each of us getting 10 people at that rally on September 10th. Fill up your car, you know, get on MARTA, do whatever you have to do, bring your family, bring the kids with you, because that's throwdown time in a nonviolent way. I'm nonviolent. I'm nonviolent, but I'm not passive. Dr. King's philosophy was not a passive philosophy. It was using nonviolence in a way that was aggressive.
Moral ends by moral means.
There you go. So we got that to do on September 10th. And I just want to close with this. We can beat them.
Yes, we can.
We can beat them.
Yes, we can.
If you don't think we can beat them, leave out of here now. You in this movement because you think you can beat them. They can be beaten. It's been done before.
Absolutely.
A couple of Tuesdays ago, a few Tuesdays ago, on that T-Splosh.
Come on, go ahead.
You know what that T-Splosh was about, Mill Council? That was about corporate greed.
Yeah.
That was about corporate greed. Taking your money, putting it in their pockets, and discriminating against you in the process. That's what that was about. And we beat them.
Big, yeah.
Beat them big time. Folks talk about, well, we won in Atlanta.
Go ahead.
No, the rules say you got to win everywhere.
Yeah.
And we beat them everywhere. in Southwest Atlanta, where other sales tax passed 95%, they only got 50 or 40% of the vote. Folks left that T-Splosh and drove. See, our movement's got to be winning movements. We're not here just to play. We're out here to what? To win and do right by the people. And if we do that, history will treat you very well. I'm on the right side of history. I know you are too. God bless you.